Hey everybody, QUAD9s back with an update on my Azorius Detain deck tech. I've got my mana base starting off here. Got a pretty standard 4 Hallowed Fountain, 4 Glacial Fortress, and that is a Azorius Guildgate back there for the 9th dual land. On to the basics, I have 4 plains and 6 islands. And rounding it out, 1 Evolving Wilds, 1 Ghost Quarter, 1 Moorland Haunt for a little utility. So there's 22 lands total, which is so far been a pretty decent amount. Haven't had a problem with not getting enough land. Have flooded out a couple times, but that's just going to happen. No matter how many lands you run, you're going to eventually just draw lands a few times. But anyway, on to the spells. Got a few enchantments. I've got an Ethereal Armor, which is a really cool card. I've been playing online with a Fencing Ace deck, and it's pretty ridiculous. You do that with like Rancor on a Fencing Ace. Pretty fun. So anyway. Not this deck. This is a straight blue-white. So Ethereal Armor, got 2 Detention Spheres, and a Martial Law. Martial Law is like kind of like a Planeswalker every turn. It's an enchantment that they can't attack. I mean, sure, there's spells that remove enchantments, but it basically says that guy's not doing anything till my next turn, and then I'll pick another guy. So on to my instance, I have a Bluster Squall, which everybody tells me that Feeling of Dread is just better, and I agree that a lot of the times it is. Because you can pick 2 and then flash it back, pick 2, but this one, because you don't have to target if you overload it. So say they've got Geist of St. Draft or just any kind of hexproof something, you don't have to target, just pay 4 and just taps their whole team, which has allowed me to, alpha strike before. I tacked in, got them down pretty low, and then they're going to be able to kill me on the swing back, but I tap his whole team on its upkeep, and then the next turn I've got a pretty good attack to win the game. Also 2 Cyclonic Rift, 3 Azorius Charm, pretty standard bounce or draw card there. 2 Cackling Counterparts, which makes for some interesting combat. I'll just say that. You can make tokens of stuff and then later copy the tokens with like Rootborn defenses. I've copied a Restoration Angel, blinking one of my other creatures, and the next turn I use the Rootborn defenses to copy the token of the Restoration Angel. So. Another more card draw here. We've got the Sphinx's Revelation. I had 2 in here, but the deck was just trying to get it done a little bit faster than that. It is good in the long game if you kind of stall out. You get to gain some life and just really refill your hand. So I do like the 1. May go back up to 2. Not sure. I've got 1 in the sideboard. You'll see that later. On to the sweepers and part of my finishers. I've got 2 Supreme Verdicts and 2 Terminus. Terminus in your opening hand is just a feel bad, but any other time it's probably pretty good. You get the choice of like, do I wipe the board or just hold it for later. And I've got 2 copies of Entreat the Angels. I don't have as much mana as some decks that run this card, but I've top decked on turn 5, cast for 3 Angels. That usually winning the game right there. So as long as, once again, like the other miracles, if it's not in the opening hand, it's usually pretty sweet when you draw it. On my creature base. Of course, the main person this deck's around is Geist of St. Draft. Most of my spells and about all my creatures are just designed to make him get in there and combat just really bad for them. So I've got 4 of the Geist, and this card, which in my last build I only had 1 of, but that was because I only had opened 1 in my boxes. So now I have the full playset of the Sky Knights. Really good card. Just can't say enough about it. It's a 3 power flyer for 3 mana. That detains somebody. So, drop Geist, then drop this guy next turn. Geist usually gets in there pretty unimpaired. And then you've got a 3 power flyer in there. You can take out probably one of their guys if you want to just chump block or, trade. Or you can just beat down for 3. And if you put Ethereal Armor on this guy, he's a 4 power flyer. So, it's not a very bad card. Of course, we also have 4 of the Restoration Angels, which is an equally good thing to play after Geist during attack. Blinking, they can't die. Or just ambush somebody with it. So the last of my creatures, I've got 2 of the Azorius Justicar. I know it just seems like a draft card, but your opponent's setting up his whole turns and everything. Just make sure he has enough blockers, and he can do this or that. And then you drop this, and 2 of his guys do nothing all of a sudden. So from him thinking he's safe for another turn or 2 to just dead, just by playing this guy. Just seems like a lot of fun. Oh, I didn't mention that the Sky Knight can actually detain just any non-land permanent, not just creature. This guy does only creatures, but that's usually what you want to do with that guy. Okay, on to the last couple cards. We've got the 2 Jayce and the 1 Tamiyo. I would just instantly pull, I think, probably the 2nd Rootborn Defense or just one of the other cards for a 3rd Jayce, because every time I drop him, he just seems pretty good. I know some people aren't impressed with him, but every time I've played him, you just get so much value. You slow their team down, make them attack him. Like I said, if I've got guys detained or I've got good blockers, it's not much they can do. If you're ultimate him, obviously you should win the game. Usually you go get their best thing and possibly get another Jayce and just play it and then do whatever you want. And also the mini fact fictions are not bad. Tamiyo with a martial law in play is usually a good game. You're tapping one thing, detaining another, and most decks can't come back from that. But occasionally you find one. On to my sideboard, which is far from tuned, but just kind of what we got. Got 1 Cloud Shift to aid in the blinking effects. Blinking a Restoration Angel with a Sky Knight in play is always fun. Rest in Peace, got 2 of those because the Frights deck is really good right now, so that's kind of my tech for that. It's not anything secret or anything, but the 2 is usually enough. 1 O-Ring for the quasi blue-white mirror, because the Tension Sphere cannot target the Tension Sphere, so you can O-Ring it, which is always good. Witchbane Orb, it's just got many applications. If they got discard spells, they've got burn spells, just anything like that, you just want to bring it in. The 3rd Supreme Verdict for just the real pesky creature mashups. Obviously not zombies most of the time, but any of the other ones. There's the 2nd Sphinx's Revelation. Another Tension Sphere, Jayce to, if we'll go the mill route. Also, you can use it to kill their Jayce and drop like their Jayce Architect of Thought, and then drop yours. It's kind of a weird way to use it, but it is an option. Kind of a counter suite here. Syncopate, 1 redirect. That's I've talked about this before. It's for decks that run Bonfire, because they're still out there. Redirecting it to their face is a lot of fun. So if you ever get a chance to do it, please try. And the classic Negate. Boy, I miss Mamalik, but these 3 usually are enough if I need to decide something in. And the last 3 are just not real sure about them, but I've thrown a Gilded Lotus to kind of help with the mana, and the 2 Angel of Serenity in case I need to go over the top of somebody, if it's getting into board stalls or something. But haven't actually sideboarded too much. I haven't sided these guys in. I've got them, so I like having access to them, I guess. But I think I could probably put 3 other cards rather than this kind of big package, as I call it, because you probably need more like 24 lands to really consistently cast Angel of Serenity in any good time frame, unless you draw the 1 Gilded Lotus. So, like I said, it's just something. The sideboard is a work in progress, but it's been okay so far. So I've definitely streamlined the deck a good bit from the last video I had. If you would give me your opinion, any suggestions like that, I do appreciate the comments on my last video. Got a lot of views on it, a couple of thumbs up. But anyway, so if you got any questions for me on how it works or how it plays, just please feel free to message me. And thanks for watching.